What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome all back to Dragon Age Inquisition. As always, if you're new here or haven't yet, please do subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and if you want to catch up on the rest of the series so far, go ahead and check the description below. I'll have the whole playlist down there in order for everybody. So, we got some quick war table things to catch up on and set going here, and then we're going to go to the Grove of Ghilan'nain. We'll clear up the last of the Exalted Plains. Investigate man accused of abomination. Inquisitor. The man accused of being an abomination is innocent. He is a mage just developing his powers. Unfortunately, a mob of citizens had already found and beaten him when we arrived. The sight of an armed group of soldiers scattered the crowd, but it will be some weeks until his injuries heal. He is withdrawn and in pain, but our new mage's training must begin soon. I will find someone to help him control his new powers when we return. Thedas. So it is a good job we investigated this then, instead of just sending him in to swing swords. Again, points for Sabaris, right? He could have quite easily just gone in there and chop, but he takes his duty as a Templar seriously, and that is how it is supposed to work. The Templars are supposed to guide and protect mages from the world, right, as well as from themselves. It's not the evil persecution order that people would think that they were. Oh, I misclicked on the wrong thing there. Inquisitor, the tunnels are complete, and our agents slip in and out of Caer Brannock like shadows. The workmen who were digging out the caves discovered some old dwarven items there as well. Mundane things, such as pots and furniture, but they brought a fair price among some collectors. Liliana, 100 gold sovereigns isn't bad, which doesn't sound like much in the grand scheme of this game, but if you remember back in Dragon Age Origins, having 100 sovereigns is a gigantic deal. That is a lot of money in this world. Oh, that's the Elven Glyph operation that we got for finding all those glyphs in the plains. Here it is, Ghilan'nain's Grove. Chief Engineer Bernadine's report to Commander Cullen. Initial inspection. Elven ruins, ancient, largely structurally unsound. Mortar dampened crumbling. Recent damage to load-bearing walls. Floor marks. Task. Clear loose rubble and reinforce collapsed passageway for safety. Requirements: 10 strong workers, 2 junior engineers, 2 guards for security, 3 wagon loads of squared oak beam, 170 kegs of brown ale. They need a lot of drink for the job then, huh? Go ahead and fix that up. The passageway is clear and safe. Access to the grove restored. 170 kegs of ale, not nearly enough for 15 hard-working Inquisition men and women. Chief Engineer Bernadine. Well, you should have ordered more then, shouldn't you? And we'll just fast travel right there. Interesting that they said claw marks were on this place, like something was trying to get in, and obviously maybe it was blocked for reasons of keeping something in. We'll go find out all about that. We do have my tier 3 focus bar, so we should be more than equipped to tackle whatever's on the other side of the wall. We have one of Cassandra's targets in here too, on the other side of this grove. Make sure we clip them on our way through. Oh, you all have level up points. Let's take care of that. Level 20 already. I think the highest I usually get in this game is around 27, but I don't know if that's because I run out of content or because the game tops out the... Just remember that that's usually where I end up. Even should you fall, you give your allies the strength to fight on harder in your name. This still feels like a waste to me. It kind of feels like, if she dies, then I've done something wrong, right? She's my tank. She shouldn't ever be dying. All of your Templar abilities now affect magic using enemies as well as demons. All of them, huh? So this would count for Blessed Blades too. Allies retain the effects of Blessed Blades for a short time after leaving the area of effect. Attacking enemies while you're affected by Blessed Blades reduces the cooldown times of Spell Purge and Wrath of Heaven. That's not a bad upgrade. Lights in the Shadow. What would be our other options for her before we start swinging away? What other options do you have, Cassandra? When you attack a target from behind, she's going to be in their face more often than not. That wouldn't do as much good, I don't think. A warrior's resolve. You fight all the harder when you're hurt and gain stamina when you lose health. This would be a good idea for her to spam more of her abilities and things like that. Vivian, we were just working on your fire tree, right? Yeah, that's exactly what we were doing. When you cast a fire spell, the spell consumes half of your current barrier to empower it. That's not important. Um, we could upgrade the Immolate Mine. Immolate burns hotter and has a shorter cooldown time, allowing you to rain fire upon your enemies more often. That sounds like the one that I'd like to go for with that. And then Solus. Okay, we finished your Rift Tree. Let's just keep passively buffing his barriers. I'm gonna have him spamming them for the entire game, so I may as well make them as good as they can possibly be, right? The hell are these crackheady looking things? Are you a Gurgut? That was a Gurgut. Actually, I have no idea what creature that is, but there's a lot of them. Was a lot of them. You have goodies. And what are your goodies? What do they do? Gurgut weapon. Tier 2. Dexterity, cunning, chance to sunder. Throw fade shit at my party, or is that poison? Sounded like fade. Yeah, I'd say he's definitely asleep after that. I think asleep is a very good phrase. Well, we cleared the opening part of the grove. Promote Barris in the throne room. Oh, I didn't realize that we had that. Yeah, it's because I fast traveled right away. I guess we'll take care of that at the end of this episode then, if that's the case. I'd say he deserves it. Make sure we don't miss anything here. If there's anything to miss. Rifts in the fens. So what do we have? It's a pretty chunky area. We should be able to get through all this pretty quick though. We got an Inquisition perk. That'll be cool. I think we were working on the Inquisition tree, right? I think that's what we were doing with that. I'm super interested in Codex in this zone to find out what this place is. What it's about. And how why it was sealed off. I love that I can just zip past their little fade bombs. Get up close to the rift. You should be alright with this, right? I guess I'll do it. Triggering my invis for the next wave so I can just blow them up. Surely my companions can handle that. Guess not. Oh, good job that we'll have the cooldown back in time. Huh? And I hear a despair demon. I'm gonna stun him and blow him up as fast as I possibly can. Where are you, you little shit? Nice and easy. Horn of Valor, I should have, in hindsight, I should have probably invested in Horn of Valor a lot earlier than I did, because my entire party having a big god meter like that is really, really useful. Well, there's two paths to go here. This is the high path, the other one was back down the... I guess we can take the high path first. And then I'll grab the... we can go back to camp and then take the low path. We got a landmark up here and a cave. And a giant hand of a statue. The mosaic piece in its palm, that's a nice touch. The dead hand. The great stone hand was something of a mystery. One assumes it is a piece broken off from a larger whole. If so, judging by the size of that one hand, I imagine the entire sculpture to be well, large enough to require the use of obscenities to describe it. Thus I have only one question. Where is the rest of the statue? It is difficult to imagine how something so large could go missing. From A Journey Through the Dales by Lord Horace Medford, Adventurer. The only way to go through this is down. Grab my obsidian first. Yeah, you would imagine. Like, how does a piece of a statue this big even get here? Because this place certainly wasn't big enough for what it would be attached to, right? Down into the dark. The Dead Hand. I'm gonna hope this barrier is not one of the unkillable kind, and it is. Of course it is. Yeah, this thing just won't die like this, unfortunately, so... Only way I've found to do things like that is to take the trial off real quick. Because even when it's off, the barrier is still always present a little, but it takes damage when you turn that trial off. It ends up with like chungo resistances somehow. Turn that back on before we forget. Walk softly. That's back on. We drop another save and then reload that up, and then we should be good to go. Everything should be scaled for us again. That is always the one that causes issues. The rest of them play pretty nicely, to be honest, but that one is always a little bit of a bitch. Falandin, friend of the dead, guide. O Falandin, Lethanavir, friend to the dead, guide my feet, calm my soul, lead me to my rest. In ancient times, the people were ageless and eternal, and instead of dying, would enter Euthenera, the long sleep, and walk the shifting paths beyond the veil with Falandin and his brother Durthaman. Those elders would learn the secrets of dreams, and some returned to the people with newfound knowledge. But we quickened and became mortal. Those of the people who passed walked with Falandin into the beyond and never returned. If they took counsel with Durthaman on their passage, his wisdom was lost, for it went with them into the beyond also, and never came to the people. Then Fen'Harel caused the gods to be shut away from us, and those who passed no longer had Falandin to guide them. And so we learned to lay our loved ones to rest with an oaken staff, to keep them from faltering along the paths, and a cedar branch to scatter the ravens named Fear and Deceit, who were once servants of Durthaman, now without a master. It's told by Gisarel, keeper of the Ralafaran clan of the Dalish Elves. Does that story sound familiar to you, Solus? No commentary on that, huh? Ah, this is the puzzle room that I thought I had been in already. Oh, this is one of the puzzle rooms. Crack this code. You, I assume, light something, which would be... Ah, there, that's what it is. Okay, so we have to get certain people in these prison cells to light certain lights. How about this? Let us trap Vivian in there, so there is no choice. And now she can walk through. To what end, I wonder? Ah, to that end. There's a lever in here, okay. We light that, and then pull this. What changed there, I wonder? There's another lever here. Okay. Yeah, that needs to be out of the way for when he dings it, I think. Or perhaps he just dings them no matter what. So we need to figure out how to get this one to drop then. Okay, that's out of the way. So let's quickly pull this. Yeah, it's 2. Mainly I just want to get this side one done and then we can figure out the rest. Okay, so we got 3 out of 4 lit. Ah, it's a pressure plate. That makes sense. Okay, we got it open. What is our reward? Superb Amulet of Cunning, +10. Might be good for some crit chance. And it let Vivian out of prison too. Beautiful. That took me longer than I would have liked, but we got it. First episode of the day, my brain's a little slow, okay. Absolutely not. Stop every single part of your little Goku blast. Pause. My character actually despawned though, huh? There we go. I can pause every now and then in the middle of that kickflip. I gotta let him know real quick. Yes. What a moment. I can make some crazy edits with this build. They were all protecting something that I thought would have been much better than that. Yeah, I'll do my best to edit that up, that little puzzle right there, to make it more consumable. I think it took me about 10 minutes to solve, so I'll try to just chop that up into the pieces that you actually need to do. Save you watching me struggle, because I want to get much more than these ruins done this episode, so. And so far so good. Do we just leave out now into the plains? I think this is Cassandra's kill target we have in here. Make sure the commands are cleared, so they should... No, they still don't want to follow. Okay.
One of the Templar targets.
Yeah, I see it.
that it came to this, but at least it is done.
They didn't hold up good. I would like to know how those Templars got behind that temple right there. Did they just seal it behind them? Or Gurguts or whatever they were. Yeah. What material is this? More obsidian? Yeah. I was hoping for something a little spicier than that, but... These vatities. Where are we at on the map right now? So this was the entrance to the grove, and then we came through. So if we cut down here, we probably can clear the map. There's still that one pathway that I wanted to take that connects to the camp, which honestly it might just be that. That might be where that connects to. But we'll still check it regardless. The main attraction of this grove is going to be the High Dragon. Get another one of those dragon fights out of the way. Help ourselves to all this Gurgut XP too while we're on the way. I'm curious to see how high of a level I can get if we do every single piece of content. I'm going to do all the expansions and stuff here, so... Let's see if I can get it higher than 27. 27 is the number I have in my head for, like, where I usually top out, so... I see rage and despair. Guess who dies first? You cannot run far enough, my friend. And all of you go get your targets so I can stun you all. Use my hook and tackle. There we go. Good. Of course, it's a fucking despair demon. Oh, he fed himself to me. I'll consider it.
We must lack many of the luxuries to which you are accustomed.
One does not survive the Orlesian court without learning to adapt, my dear.
Skyhold is hardly the Orlesian court.
You needn't tell me that. We all have our little sacrifices.
And yours are what? Book sheets? Vivian is kinda bougie. I can imagine her having her underlings bring her like fresh wine squeezed in the morning. Broken dog. I intended to take a charcoal rubbing of the beautiful elven carving on the stone to present to a scholar at the University of Orlais for translation. Unfortunately, halfway through the process, the chilling sensation of something brushing my legs beneath the dark water interrupted me. I dropped both scroll and charcoal stick and began running, not stopping until I was on dry ground. So he panicked. Thought he was about to get sucked into the deep and run away. That's why you don't let nobles explore things. This dragon fight rather, can present its own set of challenges, because I believe it's a lightning dragon, and as you can see, we are standing in a lot of water. So it's actually kind of good that we have all the juice that we have, because we're just going to burn it down before it gets a chance to be annoying. Pop his little fader.
That should help strengthen the veil.
Interesting that he would want to strengthen the veil, given, you know, he's a mage and all that. And given what we know, maybe, speaking of given what we know, maybe strengthening the veil helps in some way. Offering to the Dreadwolf, the Dalish believe that Fen'Harel, the Dreadwolf, locked the gods of good and evil away. Only he walks free. Although they see him as a betrayer, elves still erect shrines to Fen'Harel. One imagines they do not revere him so much as to seek to appease him, lest they draw his gaze. Alright, let's go kill Oze, another very pretty dragon. This one has awesome colors. Love the way this one looks. Very pretty. Missed. There we go. And that is the end of that. Gamordan Stormrider. I think it's the end of that. Yeah, this one just has a big death animation. Yeah, that one's a super pretty dragon. Sitting at a 5 out of 10. What do we get? Lady Jocasta's Revenge, 20% flanking damage bonus, and a superb amulet of dex, and the rest is all the regular scales, tooth, weapon, all that stuff. Not so bad. Yeah, if you can't just burst him down like we just did, fighting it in all this water, because water electrifies in this game. If you cast Lightning in water, it will turn it electric, and so you'll just take constant shock stun damage if you don't kill it before it starts doing all that nonsense. Got quarry back here. It would seem to be. And some bear traps. Ah, they don't work, thankfully. We don't need quarries anymore, but it's like right in front of us, so why wouldn't I just take it? What do we have? Within scales. Scattered notes. Amazing creatures, dragons. Everyone I've encountered has a unique personality. This one, for example, enjoys being around water, so her splashing about. A remarkable sight. I would have joined her in revels had Caleb not held me back. Ah, Caleb. A good porter, but timid. I told Caleb and the others, dragons much prefer to eat beasts of the wilds rather than humans. Unfortunately, I was proven wrong. A day later, the creature turned away from a gurgid to go after poor Caleb. I hope the brave little soul got to see the magnificent dome of her gullet. I'm certain it's like the inside of the Grand Cathedral. Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't agree with you. And then that would be another treasure map. I don't think we have naturally come across any of the treasure maps in this place, actually. I think I have missed every single one of them.
It's quiet here. I like it.
I like the silence of this place. A little unnerving to me. Where does this take us? It takes us to the grove. Okay, yeah. So we could have just ignored that opening section. We didn't have to do that puzzle. We could have just come this way. It's Ghilan'nain's Codex. And this one is Andrew's Codex. Wait, wasn't there, wasn't one of the treasure maps 2 Hala statues? It might actually be somewhat close to one of them. Yeah, see? That's those 2 Hala statues. And then that should be on the corner by a rock. But which side? Yeah, which side do you stand for those two Hala statues? Would be my question. Okay, well, alas, I'm not sure where that treasure is, but that does put us in a position to be done with this place, aside from Solus's personal quest, so let us go back to Skyhold, we'll promote Sir Barris, and then we can wrap the episode on up. Next episode, I will make the rounds in Skyhold, we'll do Solus's quest, and any other quest we might happen to pick up while we're making the rounds. And then we'll be done, we'll be ready to move on to the Grey Wardens. Definitely a smooth dragon fight, but it does make it a little anticlimactic when you just kill it. To be fair to that dragon, it did take like what? I think it was like 6 or 7 leaping shots. Did good. Do I promote Sabaris at the war table then? Presumably. Or I have to start the operation maybe, because there's no sit-in judgment though. I assume that's how I would start that. Let's see. Let's see if it's a war table up. Inquisition perk. Let's get our next inventory slots. Promote Sir Barris. Are you anywhere around? The Divinta Resistance is something we wanted Liliana for, I think. I received some news from Maevaris. It seems her little resistance has drawn support, just as she hoped it would. Thing is, that support comes in the form of idealistic magisters with no real power, while the ones who might see her group as a threat are the true heavy hitters. Reading between the lines, I'd say Maevaris is in more hot water than she lets on. She's crafty, but she could use more help right about now, or the resistance might die on the vine. To you. But if you ask me, any enemies of the Venatori should be friends of ours. Allow me to handle this, eliminate one of her enemies, and the rest will believe she can strike at them with impunity. They will back off. This is disguised Templars that I'm not willing to send disguised Templars to go get up to shenanigans inside Divinta. I'm not willing to commit a force to that. And that's something that if discovered, there'll be direct backlash on the Inquisition. Whereas if we just let them do as they will, there's not really any backlash that we can have for that. I don't know how we promote Sir Barris. It's not on the war table. And it's not for sit-in judgment either. So I'm not sure how we would do that. But it is not available to us yet. I guess perhaps that will just show up sometime in the future. We also have a return to Vivian, so we are definitely making the rounds next episode. Can I just approach the throne? No? Okay, well, I'm not sure how to promote him then, but we'll take care of that next time. Anyways, thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and I will see you soon with more Dragon Age Inquisition. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.